So, you said that last night your daughter was kind of fussy and wasn't going to bed, so between 10 and midnight.
She went to sleep fine. She, every once in a while, has like, I don't even want to call them night terrors, but it was like she was having a bad dream. So she was kind of fussing in her sleep. She wouldn't wake up, and so I was just kind of up in between reading my book with her, and I know it was close to midnight before I put it down.
Okay. Anything else kind of off or just strange about last night?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. So you fall asleep between midnight. You think that you get up around 3 because that's your kind of your usual
normal time.
Okay. And then you go back to bed.
I shut the door. The kids are in there. I went back to sleep.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like I was like hard asleep when there was it sounded like something crashed in the kitchen. It sounded like something falling, which seems to happen a lot in that house. But the house is torn apart right now because we're working on it. I've got stuff sitting everywhere.
Okay.
It was loud.
Like help me out here. Was it
So we have a wire rack in the shower, and it's on a suction hook thing, and it fell a couple days ago, and it was loud, and it sounded just like that. Not just like that, but loud like that, like a racket.
So no sounds of like glass breaking or anything like that, just kind of a loud, like you said, a ruckus.
Yes.
Okay. And that woke you up, or that?
It scared me.
Okay.
Kind of laid there for a second. See if kids woke up, which they didn't. It seems like there's always something stupid once a week that him and I get up and see because of the highway or something. And I got up and I peeked in the living room and he was laying there, and I went to the kitchen and turned the light on in the living room, and then he's gone.
Okay.
I looked in there first before I went to the kitchen, and it looked like he was sleeping.
Okay.
I swear I heard him snore.
Did you happen to see him when you got up to go to the bathroom? Did you happen to see him there then? Do you remember?
You have to look around the corner to see him.
Okay, so you didn't go and see him at that time? Okay.
He went to the bathroom.
Okay. So you said that you get up, you hear the noise, you wait there for a minute, you get up, and you go out, you see him sitting there, then you go and turn on the light to the kitchen?
I went in the kitchen, there's always a light on in there, so they didn't turn on the light. I went in the kitchen and looked out the window over the sink.
Okay.
Towards the driveway, looked around the living room or the kitchen. There's nothing on our walls anywhere because we've been painting and everything. I didn't see anything, so I went in and I don't know if I said his name or not.
Okay.
I turned on the light, and it just looked like he was sleeping.
Okay. So when you turn on did you turn the light on in the living room there?
The table lamp, yeah.
The table lamp?
Yes. I scared my kids so bad.
Yeah. So when you turn on the light, what exactly do you remember seeing?
It just looked like he was sleeping.
Okay.
And then I walked up to him to touch his foot, and there's blood, like, everywhere. Like, a lot. I tried to wake him up. screaming, like a lot.
Okay.
But I knew I scared the kids because Kate came running down. I don't know what I thought. I thought somebody was in the house. I put them in my bedroom and told them to lock the door. And I called Aaron.
And Aaron lives just down the road, right? Okay. So you said you tried to touch his foot, or you touched his foot to try to wake him up?
I think so. That's usually what I do, is shake his toe.
Okay. So let me backtrack. When you see him for the very first time, he's sitting in the chair like he's sleeping.
He's reclined in the chair. It looks like he's sleeping.
Okay. And
blankets on him.
Where's the blanket on him? Like over him? Like over his chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
His feet always stay up. I swear he was snoring.
Okay. So, when you notice it, obviously, you see the large amount of blood, and you realize that something's wrong, right? Do you make any attempt at, do you touch him? Do you?
I grew up on him. I hit him. I think I was shaking him and screaming in his face to wake up.
Okay.
Kate fell on the floor next to him because I think he slipped. And I think I was hitting him.
You think you were hitting
I
him?
think I kept hitting him, trying to get him to wake up.
Like,
shaking him.
Okay.
Holding his face.
Like hitting his chest?
I don't know, grabbing his shirt or his bait up to wake up.
Okay. So you said you thought that maybe somebody was in the house?
That's what I thought.
Did you hear any other sounds or commotions or anything other than the one that woke you up?
No, nothing.
Like,
cars go by all time of the night, but I didn't see it. I looked out the kitchen window. I didn't see anything.
okay. No sounds of like the front door slamming shut or
No.
anyone running down your deck or down your steps or anything like that?
No, nothing.
Okay. Okay. So, after trying to wake him up or get his attention, you said you called Aaron?
I called Aaron before.
Okay.
Well, I touched him or whatever. And then I just remember I started screaming and screaming. And Kate came down. That's when I told him to get in my room with the other two kids, and I called Aaron from in there.
Inside the room?
Yeah, I think I locked the bedroom. I was in and out. I went in and locked it, and then I thought I had to go call Brian. I didn't know somebody was there. I tried to get my stupid gun that I don't even know how to work and have never shot out of the safe that he said we had to have, and I couldn't even get the thing open. It's in our bedroom closet.
Okay. And how big of a safe is it? Just a little?
Just a one security type handgun safe that I don't even know how to open.
Okay. And you couldn't get it open?
I don't think so.
Did you ever actually get the gun out of the safe?
No.
Okay.
I touched the safe, I think, because it's some stupid fingerprint thing, I think, and I put my finger on it and nothing happened, and I was screaming, and
Okay.
I called Aaron. He said he was on his way, and I went back out.
Okay.
I don't I kept going back in there to take them in because I didn't want them to see.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I didn't know if somebody was there.
Okay.
All right, that's the first portion of the interview that you completed. Did you then, as you discussed, ask if Karina had any relationship issues or what the relationship was between Karina and Ryan?
Yes,
Okay. And that portion was captured during the recording as well?
correct.
So nothing out of the ordinary with Ryan's behavior yesterday? Okay.
Perfectly normal day.
What about in the last few days or like the last week? Is there anything out of the ordinary with him or like maybe between the two of you or anything like that? No?
Better than we have been in a while. Kids are finally getting older and we can breathe again.
Yeah.
He's got a lot on his plate right now with the shops going up, and his mom passed away a year ago, so some shift in responsibilities with the farm, but
Is his dad still with us?
yeah,
Okay. Other than Aaron, how many siblings does he have?
he's got a sister and aunts
Okay.
that's about 10 years older than him.
What's her name?
Michelle
Michelle. Is it Cooper? Is she still?
Wilson.
Wilson? Okay.
He's just works. He's been side dressing and bailing. He's busy. We both are always
Going.
or working, not really going. If I'm not with the kids, I'm working. I have a side business that I make soap and stuff. We just work and stay home.
Okay. You mentioned that things have been better now recently than they were in the past.
Not that they've been bad. We're just finally getting to spend some time
Oh.
together again and not have a child all the time on top of us.
Yeah.
Never been bad.
No real issues between the two of you? Okay.
We didn't get married till we were mid-30s. We've been through all that garbage.
Yeah.
We had plans.
Plans for what?
Just everything.
Okay.
We wanted to buy a lake house. We were gonna last year and it didn't work out, and then the ratio hit. And we decided that it was a blessing in disguise because then we were putting up a shop sooner than we thought, and we'd wait a few years. Just had plans. We're 40 years old and we still have a 4-year-old, and we just joked all the time about hoping that we were alive long enough to retire and go do things.
Agent Herman, just briefly, and then I'll play another clip from your video. There's someone else there in the room with you, obviously. Who is that person?
That would have been Special Agent in Charge Rick Ron.
And throughout your interview with Ms. Cooper, were there portions you said you weren't certain what had occurred yourselves, what the nature of the injury was? Were there portions of your interview where you spoke to her about essentially the fact that you didn't know what happened to Ryan?
Yes, we talked about that it could be a medical situation. We briefly discussed if she had any thoughts that maybe it was a suicide by Ryan or anything like that.
You stated to Ms. Cooper that it could potentially be a medical situation?
We'd said we didn't know, and we've seen cases where this is a result of a medical emergency as opposed to something violent or something malicious.
Considering that she had indicated to 911 that her husband had been shot, did she ever correct you or offer any information as to what she believed happened to him?
No.
All right, Returning then to the next portion of your video clip, did you ask, or did SAC Ron ask additional questions regarding her relationship with her husband?
Yes, he did.
Again, not to be personal, okay, but again, these are things we need to ask, just to try to figure this thing out. Has there been any marital issues between the two of you?
Oh, we had a rough patch shortly after his mom passed away where we weren't getting along. There wasn't any real issue. We were just both sad and mad and not communicating.
And it's something how the ones you love the most, those are the ones sometimes you treat the worst.
I'm
sometimes.
a talker and he's not, and I was always pushing the, breathe, whatever, talk. And
Yeah,
he shuts down and
okay.
nothing where there was ever any doubt about our marriage.
Okay, so no affairs of any kind?
No.
By
no.
him or by you? And the only reason I ask is if someone went in and did something to him, and again, we don't know. It could be that, could be medical, we don't know. I'm just thinking about like the scorned lover type of thing or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So there's no
We
no
don't
concerns
go
with that for
anywhere.
you?
We don't do anything. He might go to the bar after work with his friend Riley, and he's never home past 8. That's how exciting we are. It's like
We're
I
the
said,
same way.
we weren't talking and getting along, but we finally talked it out, and there was never,
Never any issues like that?
never.
Okay.
I know I never worried about it. I don't think either one of us. Just like I said, he's been divorced. We got married in our 30s. We didn't.
And further along in your interview, did you again ask her to recount, or did she provide further details or a retelling of what had occurred the night that Ryan died?
Yes.
We got to kind of regroup here. We're going to try our best to get to the bottom of this, okay? And again, we don't know. It could very well be, like I said, a medical thing, because we've seen that before. And he is how old? 30?
42.
42? Or something else could happen. That's what we're here to try to find out and figure out. But basically, to rehash things, just to make sure, you hear this noise, you get up, you think at the time it sounded very similar to the wire rack that had fallen in the shower a couple days earlier. But you went around, didn't see anything, hear anything unusual, didn't hear any cars speeding away, didn't hear any talking or communicating that was going on inside the house at all.
Nothing.
Is it a 1-story, 2-story home?
Story and a half.
Story and a half. And you didn't see anybody flee or anything like that?
No.
Nothing that gave you concern that at least someone was still in the home? Or did you think at the time someone was in there?
I don't know. I was just nervous, just scared.
Okay.
I don't really feel like I thought anybody was in the house until I saw him.
Okay.
And I saw blood. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just started screaming.
Okay. All right. Well, let's give us a couple of minutes here. We'll be back. Okay. You sure you don't need anything?
So she had recounted her story a couple separate times. At any point, did she talk to you about sending Snapchat messages with Huston Danker at 3:30 in the morning?
No.
Did she ever mention using her phone or deleting photos?
No.
Did she talk about anything that would explain taking over a football field worth of steps?
No.
You said that in your prior testimony you took a break and at that point found out some information about an individual named Huston Danker and asked follow-up questions related to that, correct?
Yes.
And we just saw you in the video getting up to take your break, correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to play the remaining portion of your video.
as Rick said earlier, we don't know what happened. Like he said, we don't know if this is a medical thing. We don't know if something bad happened or if something did something to Ryan. And that's obviously what we're trying to figure out. One of the questions I have is, do you know anyone that would have any reason to hurt him?
No.
Has he had any issues with anybody?
No, nobody. He doesn't hurt anyone.
Okay. I know you said that he is usually home by 8 o'clock, but sometimes goes to the bar with Riley.
Once in a while, yeah.
Has he talked about maybe somebody he ran into at the bar that maybe there was... I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. You know, if anyone is going to come into your house and do something to him,
Nobody.
you can't think of anybody?
Everybody loves him.
Okay.
He just works all the time and comes home.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Huston?
Danker?
Yeah.
He's my friend.
Okay. And I'm going to be blunt with you and be forward with you. The only reason we ask is Aaron made mention about maybe Ryan seeing something on your Snapchat. Not that that was Huston, but maybe there was something with your Snapchat.
Last fall, there was a Snapchat that wasn't even meant for me.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Supposedly. Ryan saw it, not me. And he told me about it. It was something about a married woman and naked, seeing her naked or something like that.
Okay.
And Ryan saw it and confronted me, and I confronted Huston, who were friends on Snapchat, and that's it.
So
And he swore up and down to both of us that it wasn't intended for me. And that was the end of it.
So Huston sent us... I guess I'm not familiar with Snapchat. I don't use it.
Not a picture, Ryan took a picture of the, message that he sent through Snapchat about something about being a married woman or something. I barely even saw it because I didn't know what the hell it was.
Okay.
And he swore up and down it wasn't meant for me.
Huston,
And we had snapped each other earlier in the day that day because he got some product from my salon.
Okay.
So he said that he sent it to the wrong person.
So, I guess...
This is dumb.
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of dumb.
Oh my God.
We're just making sure that all the questions are answered. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it a situation where Huston sends a snap to you that's not supposed to go to you?
Supposedly.
That,
He did send a snap to me, yes.
that is about you being a married woman or naked with a married woman?
Don't know.
You don't know? Well, what does Ryan say about that?
We've talked about it since then. We've talked about it with friends. That's how non-issue it became after we talked about it. That said something about, remember, I've seen you naked, and something about a married woman.
Has Huston seen you naked?
No! God, no!
Okay.
He's 22 years old.
Oh,
No!
to each their own. I'm just...
Stupid town and their rumors. No!
Okay.
I cut his hair.
Okay.
I watched his kids a couple times when his babysitter flaked.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We don't know unless we ask. Right? So, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it's safe to say that nothing is going on between you and Hugh.
Absolutely not. After that Snapchat, I don't even talk. I don't cut his hair anymore. I told Ryan I would just keep a distance from everybody, from him, from his brother, from anybody related in that age group,
Okay.
to make him feel better. And it's been a non-issue since then.
And this was, you said last fall. Got a better time frame on that?
This snap was not last fall. It was more like this spring or late winter.
Okay. Okay.
Last fall is when I was supposedly horsing around with him because I babysat his kids and his truck was at my house because I babysat his kids. That's what all that stupid Huston Danker stuff started with.
Okay.
We're friends. Ryan didn't like him. They don't fundamentally get along. So as his wife, I said, I'm not his friend anymore. Or cutting his hair, or just keep a distance. And it was over, it was done.
Okay. When's the last time you socially interacted with Huston? Or cut his hair or anything like that?
Last fall,
Okay. Okay.
I don't talk to him. He asked me to watch his kids one time. Might have been, I don't know if it was last fall or this spring, because it was field work, and I said no, that Ryan wasn't comfortable with it, but Amber, my friend Amber, would be more than willing to, and he called her, and she became his babysitter.
Okay.
That's the last I've spoke with him.
And what's Amber's last name?
Monit.
Monit?
M-O-N-A-T.
Okay. Like I said, we get information and sometimes we have to ask stupid questions. Okay.
So that interview took place, as you said, it started approximately 5 hours after that phone call to Karina Cooper, which was at 4:30 a.m. You also stated then that you conducted an additional interview the following day on June 19th of 2021.
Yes.
What was the purpose of that second interview?
To try to get more information from Karina. The autopsy had been completed on Ryan, and we had completed our search of the house and processing of the house. So